What's going on, everyone? It's time to talk about another Shudder exclusive film in this review. So, today we're going to be talking about The Bunker Game. It's a Shudder exclusive released March 19th, 2002, and it was directed by Roberto Zazara, who's also done films like Claustrophobia, Empty Shot, Trashamaniac, and The War in Between. Um, so the Bunker Game is a horror thriller, and takes place during. No, the setting of this film is actually pretty interesting because it and different. It's like a LARP, like a live action role playing game of a World War II mission. So like you had just like Hitler and stuff, and the Nazis and people trying to spies and stuff, and they're all in this bunker trying to play this game and yeah, win. And during the midst of this, people start getting knocked off, and they're not sure who, but they eventually learn that some spirits in the bunker have come about haunting the place and taking revenge and thinking it's basically real life again. So, yeah, it has a cool little premise. I thought it would be interesting, and I turned it on, and most of the acting was terrible. Well, I wouldn't say terrible. It was like somewhat okay. But then yeah, then the effects and everything started coming, and like it's reasonable. Like this is the cinematography is really good in this, and like the music, it builds the atmosphere and stuff really well. The ghosts were kind of lackluster, and the whole plot was a pretty basic, like stuck in one spot type plot where they try to get out and work together, and obviously some people don't make it and stuff, so it became super predictable, I found. And yeah, it wasn't that well done. So um yeah, so I kind of found that disappointing. This was almost like the devil below type disappointing. um yeah, it wasn't that amusing. I thought the premise sounded interesting, and then like most characters weren't even interesting to watch or anything like that. They do take you on a cool little adventure. The first half of this movie is interesting enough, but once they introduced like the haunting elements and stuff, it wasn't that interesting anymore. And it became kind of like a cliche modern like horror thriller, and there's not much for it to stand on its own besides the one little premise, which is one big weakness about films these days that when they come out. And yeah, I just found that pretty disappointing. So yeah, there's not much else really to say about it besides it was disappointing and it has one cool little feature. That's basically all I can tell you. It's not. I don't know if I'd recommend it to most people. It was just a bland, dull movie. So, yeah, Bunker Game was pretty disappointing. There is some interesting cinematography in it, and music, and some moderate acting, which will make me want to put it at a 2.5 out of 5 just because of those. But there's the scares are awful, and yeah, but like it has an okay start and stuff, but yeah, not much to it. Not really worth it. So yeah, there's a trail link down below if this sounds like something you might be interested in. Also, link down below is my Instagram. That's where I post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my story. Usually have the film title hashtag and the subgenre of film in a hashtag, so you're aware of it. So yeah, and also my Letterbox is linked down below at Derek P Reviews. That's where I post my first star rating right after watching the films. So follow me on one of those two platforms to stay in the loop. And also, if you're on Shudder, look in the comment section. Look for my name without any spaces, Derek Peterson. That's me. I usually put a skull rating right after and a comment right after watching the films on there. So yeah, look for me in the comments on Shudder. Yeah, make sure you like this video, share some more people aware of it, comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any, and let me know if there's any other good films on Shudder to check out that are probably better than this one. So if you have any good suggestions, throw those in the comments too. And if there's any other films or film franchises I want to hear my opinions on, comment those down below. But yeah, and make sure you subscribe because hopefully we find something weird, obscure, and odd, somewhat like this film together that you probably never thought of checking out. And also, so you hear my opinions on classic films, popular films, and other things like concerts and stuff. Yeah, so make sure you subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell because I haven't talked about an Amityville movie in forever. I probably haven't even talked about one on here. I can't remember. But yeah, so tomorrow we're going to be, well, in the next video, we're going to be diving into one of the weirdest looking Amityville movies I've seen. And I know there's a lot of shitty knockoffs and stuff, and they just use it for marketing, but they're so bad that everyone talks about them. So I'm going to dive into one of them, and we're going to dive into one of the weirdest ones, the Amityville Moon. Werewolves meet Amityville. This should be interesting. Should be better than this movie, but we'll see how that goes. So, yeah. But that's it for this one. The bunker game was not that interesting, and definitely not really my thing. Even though it did have an interesting premise and some interesting cinematography, it just ended up being a dull, boring, typical horror thriller. So, but if that's what you're looking for, check it out. It's on Shudder, and get Shudder because Shudder is awesome and is way better than Netflix. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm off for now. So watch out for all those crazy Nazi role players out there, and I guess I'll see you all in the next review, which will be the Amityville Moon. So stay tuned for that. Ring that bell, and I guess I'll see you then. So till then, cheers.